It's mailbag time here on NFL Daily. It's Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports. Remember, we go live on Wednesdays, or at least I go live on Wednesdays and answer your question. So if anything changes from now until the time that you see this video, don't yell at me. Just subscribe and join our live shows. This first one's coming in. It's from William Blair, and it's a super chat. Question: what happens if all four teams in the AFC tie? Well, what do you mean by all four teams in the AFC tie? The only thing I can think that you're talking about is like Chargers, Colts, Raiders, and then I'm going to guess what, the Patriots? That can't happen. So, all right, I guess it can. If the Patriots lose, they go to 10-7, Colts go to 10-7, Chargers go to that's not possible. So, I don't know exactly what you're talking about in all four teams necessarily, but and at the end of the day, here's what the current AFC playoff picture is looking like. We also have NFL playoff picture on Maine, so if you guys want to go ahead and check out that video, it breaks down all the scenarios, so another reason to go ahead and subscribe. Let's go to Bear all the way down. Will Harbaugh leave Michigan and go to the NFL? Heard the Raiders and Bears are the favorites. If you would have asked me this question even probably just 24 hours ago, I would have said absolutely not. Now I would say there's a coin flip chance of it happening. When you hear guys like Bruce Feldman talking about it, I definitely think there's a lot more, fire to that smoke. But I think if he goes, I don't think he goes to Chicago. I see him going to the Las Vegas Raiders. Now, it could potentially change if, Aaron Rodgers is out of there. Like, if I were to pick out of the two teams, I would say he might have a better chance of winning and have more overall control if he were to go to Chicago. But at this point, I'm kind of crazy. I might actually say yes that Jim Harbaugh is going to end up leaving there and potentially go to the NFL. Now, what do you all think here, Bear, all the way down? And everyone else, please get your votes in. Where's Harbaugh going to end up going? Do you think it's going to be the Raiders type LV, Bears CHI, Michigan MICH? If you think it's going to be another team, type that team down in the comments. Curious what you guys have to say. All right, we got Bobby Ray. It rhymes with say. Does Fields' Bears' future have potential? Of course it has potential, but we've seen a lot of really good NFL quarterbacks flame out because they've been put in really, really poor situations. I think if they don't improve their offensive line, if you don't start getting a better overall offensive game plan going in, if you don't get some more talent around Fields, he's going to struggle. Just like every quarterback would struggle if they don't have a lot of talent around him. But if you watch Fields play and you see his arm, you see his legs, and you don't think he has talent, I say shame on you. Let's go to the truth. Should the Steelers fire Keith Butler after the Ravens game? I say yes. The only reason why I'm going to say no to firing anybody from Pittsburgh, they haven't had a losing season in 15 years. But Jeremy, who's weighing in, says that's the DC of Pittsburgh. But I personally don't think that you should. The defense has not been the issue. It's been the offense. I mean, think about it. Big Ben threw the ball 46 times, and he had, 220 passing yards this past week. The defense is not the issue in Pittsburgh. Let's go to James T. Who are the top teams to sign Davante Adams this offseason? Well, I did see a report out there that apparently Green Bay is going to try to franchise tag Adams. Now, you can still do a tag and trade type of scenario. However, if he does hit the free agent market, I personally think the top team out there is the Raiders if they keep Derek Carr. Davante Adams himself has said it would be a dream come true to play with DC again. There's going to be plenty of teams. And when I say the top teams, every single NFL team, if Davante Adams hits the open market, will be interested in him. He's the top wide receiver in the NFL. Let's go to Blake Gentry. Should Miami give up on Tua and go get Deshaun Watson? I actually say yes. Not that I dislike Tua a lot. I just don't see Tua ever being a top 15, even top 20 quarterback in the National Football League. He has so many limitations. And then in terms of Deshaun Watson, if the 22 allegations against Watson are good, then, when I say good, like it didn't actually happen, then he's going to be a hot commodity. I've already seen new reports come out that say that the Dolphins are in on Deshaun Watson. Now, where do y'all think that Watson's going to play in 2022? Let me know down in the comments. If it's going to be on the Texans, he's going to stay there. That's a no. Is it going to go to the Miami Dolphins? Could it maybe be the New York Giants? I don't know. Could it be the Raiders? Could it be the 49ers? A lot of teams out there, maybe even the Green Bay Packers. If you don't think he's going to play on any team, though, I just saw the Carolina Panthers. I actually like that one. Let me know, guys, where Watson's going to play in 2022. Let's go to one of our most loyal watchers, Robert Bruce. Hello, Jeremy. Hello, Mitch. Do you think the Patriots will go after a number one receiver next year in the first round or via free agency, please? Well, I think that they thought that Nelson Agholor was going to be that number one type of dude. If it was up to me, I would say no to the draft simply because you could say what you want about Bill. He's the greatest head coach of all time. He has not done a good job finding the number one receiver in the draft. Now, if you want to go out and do it in free agency, that then becomes a little bit more interesting. The guy that I would go after, and I think the guy that they will end up going after, is going to be Allen Robinson. He just seems like that type of dude with good blocker, shows up, gets it done. I get that he has had a bad season this year, but that's more Chicago's fault. So yes is my answer, and I think it's actually going to be A-Rob. Now, if you guys want to bet on any NFL Week 18 game, if you want to bet on who you think is going to win the Super Bowl, you can bet on the NFL playoffs coming up as well, even the college football championship game. What I want you to do is go to chatsports.com/bet. I'm going to say it again because I know people don't pay attention to me. Chatsports.com/bet. You know what? We're going to go one more time. You got to go to chatsports.com/bet. Promo code NFL Daily gets you the 125% deposit bonus. Put down $100, get $125 for free to bet with. Chatsports.com/bet. Let's go to this next question. It's coming in from Brent Dawkins. Which team is the most likely to trade for Kirk Cousins? If you trade for Kirk Cousins, I believe Minnesota has to eat $10 million dead cap hit, and then the team that trades for him is going to go out and get him for $35 million. The top team that comes to my mind, and it's probably a lazy answer, is the Cleveland Browns. Kevin Stefanski was the OC in Minnesota in 2019 of recently. Now he's head coach in Cleveland. They got a lot of quarterback issues there. Not that I think Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback, but on that roster, I think it's a playoff caliber team. So for that reason, I'll say if he's traded, the most likely team would be the Cleveland Browns. Let's go to Jay. Do Giants trade down and take Malik Willis? So the Giants have 2 first-round picks this year. I believe both right now are in the top 10. I like the idea of trading back because you can always acquire more picks. And if I was the New York Giants, I would actually keep one of those top picks, trade down. Maybe a team's going to go out and look for a quarterback. Here's the issue, though. Malik Willis, to me, is a very fun prospect. I just would want Malik to learn behind somebody. Now, maybe your idea then is to draft Malik Willis with your later on first-round pick and go out and sign a veteran in free agency. That could be an option. I just don't want you to put Malik Willis behind that offensive line right away, behind some of those questionable skill position players that you got who are always banged up, and then he's bad. Because I think Malik Willis can be good. He's got to be put in the right situation. Unfortunately, I don't see that being the Giants. Let's go to the Pass Master. Appreciate the Super Chat, my man. Remember, if you Super Chat, we'll get you on the show. Do you think the Vikings will finally draft to fix their offensive line or maybe get a true shutdown corner? Keep up the great work. I would say the bigger need is corner. They let go of Breland. Jeff Gladney was an idiot, and he's no longer on the team. What's his name? Patrick Peterson hasn't been nearly as good as advertised, at least I think as much as they were hoping to get. They tried to fix some of their offensive line issues by going out and getting Christian Darrisaw in the first round. He's been battling a lot of injuries. So I'll go ahead and say that I believe corner is the bigger issue right now for Minnesota. Now, if you guys haven't already, take a second, look underneath this video, and click that subscribe button. I know not everyone who's watching right now is subbed. You know how I know? Because I can literally check who's subscribed and who's not subscribed to the channel. Yeah, I know who you are. So if you're looking for news, rumors, draft, free agency, and more this offseason, we're going to be giving you guys videos every single day. The best deal on the internet, it's 100% free, youtube.com/chatsportstv. Let's go to the next question. Next one's from Charles Cooley. You looked really, really surprised here. What should the Bears' position of focus be in the offseason? Finding a head coach. That's your number one thing you got to do if you're Chicago. Find a head coach, and find a head coach who you're confident can build Justin Fields. Because the amount of draft capital, the amount of just overall resources that you have invested in Fields, you better find a head coach that you're confident can get the most out of him. Let's go to Evan Hinders. I have a feeling Aaron Rodgers comes to Pittsburgh. Devontae Adams comes with him, wins the Super Bowl with the Steelers. Well, Evan, I don't know you personally, but I'm going to take a guess that you're a Steelers fan. I know there's a lot of reports out there that Mike Tomlin wants to work with a veteran quarterback. If you can get Aaron Rodgers, if Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams head on over to Pittsburgh, that is absolutely a Super Bowl caliber team. I just don't see Devontae going to Pittsburgh because the Steelers have never showed me that they're willing to go out and get that big-name wide receiver. They have a lot of confidence in their ability to draft. I mean, think about it. They've let a lot of really good receivers go. Santonio Holmes, Antonio Brown, you can say what you want, but yeah, AB. I mean, a lot of really talented guys go, and I could see that eventually happening with guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson. They can find talent in the draft. Mason Steven, hi Mitch. Will the Raiders go after Jameson Williams? It depends where the Raiders are drafting. I mean, if they're like, around 17, 18, 19, 20, I personally don't see Jameson Williams falling that far. If he really shows out in this college football title game, and the last time he went up against Georgia, he had like 7 catches, 184 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He's my number 1 overall wide receiver prospect, continues to get better and better and better. Will the Raiders be interested? Yes. Will he be available after pick 15? I'm going to go ahead and say no. Since, Mason, I know that you're a Raiders fan, this is a big-time matchup here on Sunday Night Football. Chargers and Raiders. Winner of this game goes into the playoffs. And basically, the only way that doesn't happen is if the Colts lose to the Jags, then both of these teams can get in with a tie. But I'm going to go into the mindset that the Colts, they beat Jacksonville, and the winner of this game, both teams 9-7 in Las Vegas. This game has been flexed to Sunday Night Football. Let me know who you got. Type C for the Chargers, type R for the Raiders. I should mention the Chargers won the earlier matchup 28-14. Let's go to Hard Hits 209, Ravens fan here, and I was thinking, what if the Ravens don't want to give Jackson $40 million and Huntley signs elsewhere? Would Mariota be a good option? All right, so I get the infatuation with Mariota because I think a lot of people just see the name and they're like, ooh, Mariota, Oregon. Here's the issue. The way that the Baltimore Ravens run their offense, you need to be able to have a quarterback that I would say is, somewhat durable. Not that Jackson's not durable. I get that he's facing some injuries right now, and I still think that you go ahead, you pay Jackson the type of money that he's looking for because he's an MVP caliber quarterback. I can guarantee you this. Mariota's not the answer, but I will say the only way that I personally believe that Baltimore says, you know what, I'm going to say no to Lamar $40 million is if they have Huntley lined up saying, hey, I want to go ahead and I want to have Huntley as the starting quarterback. Now, if I don't get to your question, don't blame me, blame Jeremy. Hit him up on Twitter at JIBeedling, or you can always hit me up on Instagram. I'm at Mitchell Renz 365. Please don't be afraid to slide in my DMs. Always not afraid to answer your questions. Let's go to Rigo. Do you think the Raiders' offensive line will be able to protect Carr from Bosa? I hope so. I said on the Raiders Report show today that my number 1, I'll say, biggest key to victory is protecting Carr. The last time the Raiders played the Chargers, they gave up 4 sacks. Carr got happy feet. He got hit 7 times. The 2 worst games that I've seen from the Raiders this season, probably the Chargers game and from an offensive line standpoint, and then the Chiefs game, both times Carr was sacked 4 times. Let's go to Juan Hernandez. Do you think the Raiders could win the Super Bowl? I think they could. I think at any point in the NFL, any team can win the Super Bowl. You just got to get hot. The fact that the Raiders have won 3 straight games, that's good. But it would be because of that defense. The defense of the Las Vegas Raiders has played really phenomenal. I'll say this. Nobody thought the 9-7 Giants would beat the undefeated Patriots, and they went ahead and did so. If they can win the Super Bowl with Eli Manning, why can't the Raiders? Let's go to Evan Hinders. Do you think T.J. Watt will break the sack record? I don't know if he's going to break it, but he's going to get pretty damn close. I mean, he needs literally 1 to tie, 2 to break it. I would say yes, but also I know that not that they're not going to be playing hard. The Steelers and Ravens game, that does actually have some meaning. So if Pittsburgh wins, that's great. You know what? Let's get ballsy. Let's say T.J. Watt is going to go ahead and he's going to break the record. Now, the Ravens and Steelers at one point, I could have made an argument, it might have been the best teams in the AFC, but since a few teams have started losing, Big Ben decided to get old on me. That's no longer the case. Now, the question I have for all y'all is, who's the best team in the AFC? Is it the Chiefs? Is it the Titans? Now that they got back Derrick Henry. Buffalo Bills? New England Patriots? Cincinnati Bengals? They just beat the Kansas City Chiefs 34-31. Maybe you think it's the Colts, Raiders, Chargers. Plenty of opportunities here. Plenty of teams to think about. Who is the best team in the AFC? All right, let's go to this next one from Andy Eeznuhts. Would Darqueze Dennard be a good replacement for Marlon Humphrey? I'm going to go ahead and say no for the simple fact of Darqueze Dennard is an inside cornerback for one. Humphrey's on the outside. Also, if you want to look up washed up, Darqueze Dennard is about as washed up as it gets. And then in terms of replacement for Humphrey, you're just not going to find a replacement for Humphrey. He's a top 5 overall corner. And if you're a free agent in NFL Week 18, there's a reason that you're a free agent in NFL Week 18. Let's go to MCM. Do you think FC Cologne can win the Bundesliga next season? Guys, I don't know anything about soccer. If you want to ask any soccer questions, please go ahead and ask Jeffrey Cooperstein. Now, I just said that I liked FC Cologne because I lived in Cologne. I actually lived there for 1 year. If you don't believe me, look up Mitchell Renz, Cologne Cardinals. But soccer, guys, I don't know. I have no idea. I'll say yes, even though it's probably not going to happen.